Use powder coating. The finishing determines the aesthetics of any painting project. There are many kinds of painting finishing, and powder coating is one of them. Powder coating is a recent discovery that was first used in 1967 in Australia. It is primarily executed through spraying. Here are some tips on how to use it for your next project. Plan the application. Thorough preparation is the most fundamental requirement for coating. Most powder coating failures happen because of negligence or insufficient know-how. Ensure that you have paint thinner, a wire brush, soft cloth, lacquer thinner, an oven for curing, and a powder coating paint gun before you start. Also, work in a place where it's safe for children, pets, and old people. Paint is harmful to your health, particularly when inhaled or ingested. Work during weekdays, if possible, when there's no one around. Remove corrosion and old coating paint from metal areas where you plan to apply powder coating. Use the wire brush to remove corrosion. Use the paint thinner to remove old paint coatings. Remove them thoroughly because they will spoil the powder coat. These will allow for a smoother and fresher finish. Use lacquer thinner afterwards. It will polish the spots where you have removed the corrosion. Use a soft cloth to dry the thinner afterwards. Repeat the procedure until the area is smooth and shiny. Protect the areas that don't need to be coated. Apply masking or painter's tape on the areas you do not want coated. Powder coating is hard to remove, so be very careful when applying it. Meanwhile, hang or set the part that needs coating. Prepare the paint color. Load the paint into the cap of the powder coating gun. Ask the paint store personnel for a color hue or ask for advice if you have inquiries regarding paint. Use powder paint gun. Spray paint over the material until it is covered with a sufficient and even coating. Put the material inside the oven. Don't forget to remove the tape on the material before placing it in the oven. Check the material every several minutes. Wait for the paint to look glossy and wet. Then, allow 20 more minutes for the best curing result. Note that a chemical reaction, called cross-linking, is triggered as the curing process takes place. The powder coating gets its desirable properties through this chemical reaction. There are two different techniques of applying powder coating. The first technique is by covering the item with fluidized powder. The item can be charged electrostatically or not. This first technique is the one used for the steps above. Meanwhile, the second technique is by electrostatically charging the powdered paint first before spraying it to the item. Also, you must understand that there are two major powder types available for finishing purposes. The first type is the thermoplastic powder that remelts when heated. The second type is the heat-resistant thermoplastic powder. This does not melt when heated. Learning to paint properly is essential for people who pride themselves with being able to accomplish projects without the need to hire a professional. By learning all the stages of the painting process, which includes the finishing, you will be able to save a lot of money in the long run.